Mamba out.
Drippin', saucy, yeah, bitch, I do this often. My bitch is bad, she always in office. Don't got the tags on running my body. Can't see the pads, I'm living new fast. With 20 my dash, I'm up, but I lost him. He wanna brag, I emptied his bag and took what he had. Don't care what it cost him. Then he broke, he turned to a hoe. I seen him before, the shit is exhausting. Ran on a hoe, I wanna be known. The stage of my soul, you ran him awesome. I even broke.
Yo, welcome to Sports Time with Aiden. I am Darius Sims, and that's Aiden Munson. And thank you for joining here in Sports Time with Darius Aiden. If you haven't already, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and also make sure to hit that bell for posts, notification for every video and update from the channel. And today we're discussing Forbes highest paid athletes list. The Forbes company didn't come out with the full 100 or the top 50, but they did come out with the top 48. In one of our previous episodes, we discussed the top 10, and they just released full-length list of some of our favorite athletes, going down from 10 all the way to the number 48. So Aiden, I want to see where some of my favorite athletes rank, and I think since the NBA Finals are going on here, he signed a huge contract in the summer during the offseason. Where does Giannis Antetokounmpo rank in the Forbes highest paid athletes list?
Giannis Antetokounmpo. We're gonna start off about you asking about him. Let's see. Giannis. Number 19.
I mean, yeah, he signed a huge contract during the offseason. I believe like 5 years, $228 million supermax. Back-to-back MVP. I mean, even like I do believe like his Nike shoe Zoom Freak 1, like that was in 2019. And that was a big deal as well. But I do think like Disney is also working on a movie about the Antetokounmpo brothers as well, so that could be big for him as well when it comes to off the court. Yeah, the next athlete I want to know is, and I know you want to know about him too. I mean, all right, well, your favorite player in the NFL, your man Aaron Donald, who has racked up a huge resume of sacking some of our favorite quarterbacks and injuring them as well. Where does AD rank on the list, man?
Right. So this technically could be a top 50 because there are a lot of players who tied. There's a three-way tie at number 40. So it's Anthony Davis, Aaron Donald, and Matt Judon. That's the three-way tie at 40. So he'd be at number 40.
Right. Played with 2018 had a 6-year, $135 million extension with the Rams. At the time, was the richest deal ever signed by a player. Out in each of the 7 seasons in the NFL, made the Pro Bowl each and every time. First team All Pro 6 times. With this Rookie of the Year, the lone exception, and is a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, one of the greatest defensive players ever played the game of football. Aiden, switching back to basketball, the greatest 3-point shooter and arguably the greatest point guard of all time, the one and only Mr. Stephen Wardell Curry. Where does the chef rank in the list?
He's actually one spot at the top 10, number 11 this year.
Yeah, man, that's really crazy. I mean, look at Zill's Under Armour. Under Armour also announced the Curry brand, and I know you're not a big fan of that, but still, I think that's
okay. Let me tell you something about the Curry brand here. Do I believe he deserved a brand and was deserving of one? Yes, 100%. Right? He's joining guys like Jordan in that aspect of having their own thing personal to themselves. Do I like what's going on with the brand as far as their community outreach and what they're doing for their communities and things of that nature? Yes. Do I like the products they produce? No. No, I do not. All right. Russell Wilson came out with a brand like 3 weeks ago. That was, in my opinion, 10 times better looking, aesthetic wise. It's not what I want to buy. I can't play basketball in that. I cannot. It's for a guy like me, especially on lengthier side, you want something that gives you the right amount of support, right? I'm not dogging him. I'm not saying that his shoe sucks, this, that, and the third. He's a great guy. His shoes aren't horrible. I've seen a couple of them that I kind of like. I don't know. Like I said, not actively wear them, but still wasn't most like he definitely deserved a brand. Not even gonna go there. He definitely deserved the brand, right? LeBron deserved a brand, Kobe deserved a brand. A lot of people deserved a brand in that aspect if we want to go there. But I like overall what they're trying to do. The product needs some work. Under Armour as a whole company itself, it's a billion-dollar company. But if it wants to get on the level of Adidas and Nike and even Puma at this point, you got to expand your looks. It can't just be focused on one thing. It's primarily focused on sports apparel. You got to expand. It can't just be all workout clothes.
Right. And Curry, like in 2017, he formed a company like that manages investments, brand partnerships, and philanthropist ventures. He also has a production company, Unanimous Media, has a development deal with Sony, and last year in November, it moved into podcasting with a deal with Audible. So congrats to Curry, number 11 on the list. Now, the best in my mind, the best tennis player on the women's side, uh, by the name of Naomi Osaka. I believe that's just a bold take. Of course, she missed out on Wimbledon, taking a middle break. But Aiden, where does Miss Naomi Osaka rank on the list?
I want to say something real quick about Naomi Osaka. She is this year's highest paid women athlete. So let's start off with that. Yeah, she is this year's highest paid women's athlete, and she is in the top 20s. In fact, she is ahead of people like Tiger Woods, Russell Westbrook, and she's even ahead of Patrick Mahomes, right? Naomi Osaka is number 12 on the Forbes list. Number 12.
That's really, really crazy. This like the second straight year, she set an earnings record for female athletes. Back-to-back Grand Slam wins at the 2020 U.S. Open, 2021 Australian Open. She signed a BB of blockbuster endorsement deals, sharing more than $50 million off the tennis court with new partners like Workday, Louis Vuitton, and Airbnb, pushing her list of sponsors past number 20 on the highest paid athletes list. Aiden, no. What about I'm like, this man has been injured for about 2 straight seasons. So we all both have some mixed opinions about him. We do expect him to come back to the court during the next NBA season coming up in October. Where does our guy, Mr. Klay Thompson, rank on the list?
He's still there. I have to say that. He was there, he was very high last year, and he's still sort of high this year. He's still on the list despite not playing. Although he is what you consider in the lower tiers. Let me see. Let me find him. Ooh, I thought he made it on here. Hold on. We might have our first guy drop off the list. Oh, no, never mind. He actually skyrocketed back from where he was. He was in the 30s last year. He's number 20 this year with a tie. He's actually at number 20 with a tie with Dustin Johnson. I believe the number 1 ranked golfer in the world. So yeah, he's actually came back up and he's in the 20s.
All right, that's really crazy, especially considering that he's been out for 2 straight seasons. Of course, on 2019-2020 season, after tearing his ACL and missed this past season due to a torn Achilles tendon.
Which, by the way, I predicted.
Okay.
I had to add that every time. I predict the Klay Thompson injury.
Right, but you look at the deals Klay Thompson made, especially off the court. Of course, July 16th, Space Jam: A New Legacy. He is expected to make a feature in that as one of the main characters in that movie, coming out July 16th. I think he signed a 10-year deal with the Chinese shoe brand.
Li Ning, I believe is what they're called.
I believe like that deal's like worth $80 million, but still, Klay Thompson, even though he's not playing basketball, he has played basketball for about 2 straight seasons. He's still making some nice money off the court as well. And Aiden, how about your man? He's also on the Rams. Arguably the best corner in football and one of the best cornerbacks of the past couple of years. Where's your man, Jalen Ramsey, man?
Jalen Ramsey is number 24.
Like you see that deal he had with the Rams, like I believe like 5 year, $105 million. First team All Pro, has a lot of deals when it comes to the best part of the
He's
list.
the highest paid non-quarterback in the league.
Yeah, I mean, Jalen Ramsey is known for finessing, and I'm not saying he's definitely deserving of the deal. One of the best lockdown corners of the past couple of years, um, definitely deserves that. But Aiden, how about our man, Mister Playoff P, Paul George? Man, I can't call him Pandemic P anymore. He showed up in the playoffs this year. Um, he's definitely making some money, and he stepped up in the playoffs this year. And where does he rank on the list?
Yeah, Paul George is number 38.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I mean, I know he signed a big deal like this like a couple years back when he was part of the Thunder. Like he was like 4 years, $137 million. I mean, he's made the cover for me at 2K. He signed a shoe deal with Nike, I think, a couple years back. I mean, he does also on a YouTube channel as well. Like I think that's surpassing 100,000 subscribers as well. But definitely deserving of that. I think he definitely deserves a part of this list. But Aiden, transitioning back to football, what about our man DeAndre Hopkins, D Hop man? Uh, yeah, man. Do you think he has a chance to destroy Jalen Ramsey this year?
In what way?
Football, man.
Okay, well, let me get this straight. Kyler Murray's short ass will be on the ground way before he can get the ball off to even go to DeAndre Hopkins. So that's not even a conversation. And second of all, DeAndre Hopkins is number 33 on the list this year.
We'll see, man. I mean, a lot of competition in the NFC West, but
Yeah, unlike some other divisions I can think of, but we're not talking about that right now. Continue.
right, D Hop has a lot of investment deals outside of football. Yeah, I also do believe he partnered with like sports recruiting platform. He's an ambassador for many companies as well. Definitely deserving of the list. But Aiden, I'm looking at some top ranks on the list. Just we see two of the best offensive linemen in football. David Bakhtiari of the Packers and Ronnie Stanley, a new joint member of the Kansas City Chiefs. Talk about these two offensive linemen ranking above guys like Giannis and Clay.
Ronnie Stanley is not with the Chiefs. That is Orlando Brown Jr.
Excuse me, man, misinterruption. But those two offensive linemen there, like what do you think propelled them over guys like Clay and Kyrie and Jalen Ramsey and Myles Garrett and Trent Williams and others?
Kyrie's still on the list and Clay's still on the list. But yeah. Ronnie Stanley is the highest paid left tackle. Well, by yearly money, I think he'd be the highest paid. I think David is still got the largest contract ever. But I think Ronnie, year-wise, his yearly money-wise, I think his signing bonus was a little bit bigger. That's what it was. And Ronnie went out with a bad knee injury, but he did sign some type of 100. It was like 6 years, a good 200 something million dollars. And David was not the same length, but 205, I think. He definitely made a crazy amount of money throughout his time and his time in the league, and I still believe that both of them, by the way, went out with injuries this season. I know it feels like I'm rambling, but I'm trying to gather my thoughts here. Both of them went out with injuries this season. I think this will continue to be some of the top left tackles in the league if they can indeed bounce back.
Most definitely, man. And I think to close out the show, to close out this list, I think, especially considering what the NBA Finals is going on, at the time of recording, the Suns are up 1-0 in the finals. See your name, Chris Paul, ranking on the list.
Chris Paul is number 31.
Yeah, man, that's definitely crazy. I think it's like making like $40 million off what I'm seeing here. Man, he's in the finals. He's the point guard. We all know what he does off the court. Commercials for State Farm. He's also been president of the Players Union since 2013, going on around 8 years being the president for the Players Union. So definitely congrats to them. And Aiden, do you have any final words to close out this episode and wrap it up?
I'm just going to finish out with some notable players and where they are on the list. Tiger Woods is number 12. Russell Westbrook is number 14. Patrick Mahomes is number 15. James Harden is number 16. Kyrie Irving is number 22. Myles Garrett is number 26. Damian Lillard is number 30. Jimmy Butler is number 35. Marlon Humphreys is number 36. Anthony Davis, as I mentioned, is number 40. The quarterback of the name that I cannot mention is number 43. You know who I'm talking about. JJ is number 46. And yeah, and Canelo Alvarez, the best boxer in the world, in my opinion, and many others, is number 48.
Well, that wraps up our episode of Sports Audios Aiden of let's say the top 48 to 50 highest paid athletes according to Forbes.com. Thank you for joining Sports Audios Aiden. I'm Derek Sampson. Nothing you must say, and we will see you later on another edition of Sports Audios Aiden. Until then, everybody, we will see you later. And until then, peace and love. Peace.